Have you ever felt something coming before it actually happened? Maybe you couldn't explain why, but deep inside you just knew. This kind of knowing doesn't come from logic. It doesn't come from facts. It arises from a deeper place, an ancient place within the soul that perceives truth without needing physical evidence. In the ones who are chosen often carry this quiet awareness with them. They walk into a room and sense the energy before anyone speaks, and they meet a person and instantly feel whether their intentions are pure or not. And while others may dismiss it as coincidence or imagination, this inner sight is anything but ordinary. There's an eye within you that doesn't see the world as it appears, but as it truly is. And this eye is awake long before you even realize it. It picks up on subtle vibrations, on shifts in mood, on warnings that others miss. This isn't paranoia, it's clarity. But because the world often runs on noise and distraction, this clarity can feel isolating. When you can sense what's beneath the surface, you can no longer play along with shallow conversations or meaningless pursuits. Your soul craves truth, and truth is rarely found in the obvious. In silence, your perception sharpens. In solitude, your spiritual senses come alive. While the crowd reacts to what they see and hear, you begin to trust what you feel. And that feeling is almost always right. You may not have words for it yet. You may not always understand it. But something within you is waking up, something ancient, sacred, and powerful. This is not a gift for everyone. It is reserved for the few who are ready to carry the responsibility that comes with true sight. Because once you begin to see clearly, you can no longer turn away. You can no longer ignore the patterns, the symbols, the signs calling you deeper into your purpose. That intuitive eye is not a decoration. It is a compass. And it will lead you through darkness, not by showing you everything, but by helping you feel your way forward, one quiet knowing at a time. When your intuition whispers, don't hesitate. That voice is not just inside you. It woos you, the real you. Trust it. There is a strange gift that often feels more like a burden at first. It's the ability to see through people, their masks, their stories, their performances. It doesn't require time or evidence. It's instant. You hear someone speak, and beneath their words, you hear what they're not saying. You sense an energy that doesn't match their tone. Something inside you tenses, even when everything outside looks normal. And while others are enchanted by charm or appearances, you feel the dissonance, the falsehood. This sensitivity isn't taught. It emerges from within, like a light behind your eyes that reveals what others are trying to hide. And you often don't want to see it. You wish you could go along, trust what's presented, believe in the innocence of things. But the chosen ones don't have that luxury. Their inner eye forces them to confront truth, especially uncomfortable truth. It's not a skill that you sharpen, it's a perception that awakens. And when it does, you become a mirror for others, even if they don't realize it. They feel exposed in your presence, sometimes uneasy, because deep down they sense that you see them clearly. This clarity doesn't come from judgment. It comes from alignment. Your spirit no longer resonates with illusion. It can't tolerate deception, manipulation, or masked intentions. And because of this, your path often becomes lonely, not because you've pushed people away, but because you've outgrown the lies they still cling to. You find yourself craving depth, sincerity, and soul-level connections, and nothing less can hold your attention. You may even begin to doubt yourself, wondering why others seem so blind to what's so obvious to you. But that doubt fades as you begin to understand you were not meant to blend in. You were meant to illuminate. And part of that light is this gift. This inner detector that tells you when something isn't right, even when everything looks perfect on the outside. To see clearly is both a power and a responsibility. It's not always easy, but it's always true. And in a world that thrives on illusion, truth is the rarest light of all. Trust what you see within, even when others can't. There's a peculiar sensation that visits those who are beginning to awaken. It's not mental, not emotional. It's physical. A strange pressure in the center of the forehead, sometimes a tingling or subtle warmth, like something is trying to open from within. At first, it's easy to dismiss. Perhaps it's fatigue, perhaps tension. But as it returns again and again, especially during moments of deep thought, meditation, or emotional intensity, you begin to realize it is something more, something sacred. That point between the eyebrows has long been regarded as the seat of higher vision. Not sight as the eyes know it, but vision of a different kind, inner, symbolic, intuitive. And when the chosen begin to spiritually awaken, this area becomes active. The body is not separate from the soul. The soul uses the body as its instrument, and this subtle signal, this pressure on the forehead, is a sign that your deeper senses are turning on. This is not imagination. It is alignment. Something within you is remembering what it once knew, how to feel beyond the five senses, how to perceive what cannot be touched or measured. And as this begins, you may find yourself more sensitive to light, more drawn to silence, more interested in understanding symbols and patterns that once felt meaningless. The world begins to speak to you in a new language, and this sensation on your forehead is the gateway. Chosen individuals often feel this more intensely because their path demands greater clarity. They are not here to simply observe, they are here to see. And this seeing starts with the body responding to the subtle world. The third eye, as many call it, is not some mystical fantasy. It is a reality that awakens within the sensitive, the intuitive, the seekers of truth. And when it opens, the world is never the same. It is not always comfortable. It may come with headaches, restlessness, or bursts of insight that overwhelm the mind. But in time, the sensation becomes familiar, like a soft knock from within, a reminder that you are not asleep, that you were never meant to be. When the forehead stirs with energy, don't resist. It is the soul reaching forward, inviting you to see what most have forgotten. There are moments when the veil between the conscious and unconscious grows thin, and you begin to receive glimpses of something deeper through dreams, images, or symbols that appear as if from nowhere. For many of the chosen, this becomes one of the first signs that something extraordinary is unfolding within. It may begin as a vivid dream, so detailed that it lingers for days. Sometimes it's a repeating vision of places you've never been, of people you've never met, yet somehow feel familiar. And often these impressions are dismissed at first, shrugged off as fantasy, but then they begin to come true. You dream of a conversation, and weeks later you find yourself having it word for word. You see someone's face in a vision before ever meeting them. You sense an event before it happens. Not in a dramatic way, but with subtle certainty. This is not coincidence. It is the soul's way of speaking in the language of the unconscious. While the logical mind sleeps, the deeper self reveals itself. And those who are chosen begin to notice that their dreams are not dreams at all. They are messages. The more attuned you become, the more these visions intensify. You may begin to wake up in the night with a phrase or a symbol etched into your awareness. You may feel as though your dreams are guiding you, warning you, even comforting you. The ordinary world becomes layered, filled with hidden meanings. This ability to see beyond the surface is not fantasy. It is a real form of perception, one that belongs to those who are ready to walk the inner path. The eye that opens within does not only show you what is, it begins to show you what is becoming. You begin to live in rhythm with something greater, something timeless, and while others sleep through their lives, you are being asked to awaken in the night, to listen, to trust, and to remember. Dreams are not illusions. They are the coded whispers of the soul, gently pulling you toward your purpose, long before the world is ready to see it. There comes a point in the journey of awakening where you begin to feel like you're drifting away from the world you once belonged to. The conversations that used to excite you now feel empty. The places and people that once brought comfort begin to feel unfamiliar. It's not that something outside has changed. It's that something deep within you has shifted. This loneliness, this sense of being different is not a punishment. It is a calling. Those who are chosen often walk through a period of separation, not because they are meant to be isolated, but because they are being prepared. In that silence, something sacred begins to emerge. While others are busy chasing noise, you start to crave stillness. In that stillness, you begin to feel a presence. Not external, but quietly surrounding you, watching over you. You can't prove it to anyone, yet it feels more real than anything else. It's a subtle guidance, a protection that steps in just before you fall too far, a whisper that nudges you back to your path when your mind begins to wander. It is in those quiet, etching moments, when you feel most alone, that the divine draws closest. Being chosen does not mean being better than others. It means being selected for a deeper path, one that demands solitude, introspection, and surrender. And while others may not understand what you're going through, while they may label you distant or overly sensitive, you begin to understand that you are being stripped of illusions so you can carry truth. And truth rarely travels in crowds. There is a kind of strength that is born only in solitude. It is the strength of knowing that even when no one claps for you, even when no one stands beside you, you are still guided, still protected. The world may not see the battles you fight, but something greater does. And it's not interested in how many followers you have. It cares only about how deeply you can follow your soul. If you feel alone, it's because you're being set apart, so that you can return transformed, not conformed. There's something mysterious that begins to happen when your inner sight starts to awaken. You start noticing symbols everywhere, not just seeing them, but feeling something stir inside you when you do. Eyes, spirals, triangles, ancient shapes and sacred geometry begin to call your attention in a way they never did before. It's as if your soul recognizes them long before your mind can make sense of them. You walk past an image of an eye and something in your chest tightens. You feel drawn to it, like it's trying to speak to you without words. And it is. The chosen ones are often pulled towards spiritual symbols not by curiosity, but by memory. A deep, unconscious memory that something in those shapes is part of them. They may start drawing them without realizing, doodling eyes or circles during moments of reflection. They may begin to collect or wear these symbols, not for fashion, but because something within feels aligned when it's near. This is not a trend. This is soul language. And only those whose inner eye is opening can hear it clearly. These symbols have existed across civilizations, across ages. They are not random. They are echoes of a deeper truth, reminders of what lies beneath the surface of the material world. When you are drawn to them, it's a sign you are starting to remember something your soul already knows. And that remembering can be subtle, even confusing. Why does a simple image evoke such emotion? Why does the eye of Horus or the mandala stir something sacred inside you? Because your inner world is waking up and the universe is sending signals to guide you inward. This attraction is not superstition. It's synchronicity. The symbols are there to mark your path, to confirm what your intuition already knows, that you are not just wandering through life, you are being led. And the more you trust that pull, the more the path reveals itself. The outer world may not understand, but your soul does. When spiritual symbols speak to you, listen, not with your mind, but with your being. They are not just images. Atomization. They are mirrors showing you the truth you were born to remember.